This is a fireside reading. So last week I did the first 5 pages of Youngblood, the hybrid series. I read them aloud. I am the author, Medallio Green. Hello, welcome. And I thought it would be really funny to read the pages as if I were the characters coming into the scene. So you might hear some accent changes. It might be hilarious to you. But this is the hybrid series. This is Youngblood, the hybrid series. This is book 1, written by me, Medallio Green. You can actually find this book on paperback on Amazon and anywhere where books are sold. And you can also find it digitally on Amazon as well, or and other platforms where ebooks are sold. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, then you can read it for free. So if you have a copy with you, follow along. Be hilarious. I appreciate it. But I'm going to get started. Again, this is the fireside reading. So I'm only going to be reading the first 5 pages. So first 5 pages are done. So I'm going to start on page 6 and read 5 pages after that. Okay. Oh, and just to give you a bit of a recap, or an elevator pitch on what this book is about. So Youngblood is about Anna, a human-vampire hybrid in the present day, enduring being taken by a vampire organization called the Order, separated by her imprint and attacked by her Romani witch mother, while on a journey to find her kidnapped son. So we actually left off, the first 5 pages basically has Anna giving you a bit of background about the vampire universe, the hybrid vampire universe, and a little bit about like who Evita is, which is her mother, Romani Witch, and the Order, the vampire organization. And now we're in Anna's memory where she's remembering her son getting taken. So let's dive back into it. Okay. I looked down at my trembling hand, still clutching the serrated knife used to cut apple slices for Liam. A few ideas passed through my mind on how to use it to subdue Evita, but then something invisible unnaturally twisted my wrist. Tendons popped out of place, forcing out a pained cry. My chest heaved unsteadily as my fingers unclenched the handle and the knife clattered to the floor under my feet. From that vantage point, my eyes trailed over a large crack in the tile floor. The peanut butter jar was gouged within the gaping crevice. A tear rolled down my cheek as phantom memories of Liam's little voice floated over the din. "Mommy, no crunchy," while fixing him his snack not even an hour ago. Those chestnut-colored eyes promised a temper tantrum if I didn't heed his warning. My whimper was drenched in sorrow, ending on a hitched breath. Evita's spell kept me in place, unable to run to the back door. Tapping into my hybrid strength was feeble against Evita's Romani witchcraft. It was transcendental. Sweat beaded my brow while my muscles strained to the point of burning. Finally, I felt the heavy constraints of the spell bend. Particles of magic floated in the air. My eyes opened wide at a loud crash. Brown and gold splayed out in a bed of glass on the floor. The frame that held my adopted mother's favorite painting by Robert Duncanson was cracked, with wooden splinters shooting every which way. Unshed tears seared my eyes, while fury laid heavy in my gut at the pieces of my heritage strewn on the floor. My face contorted in anger, mirrored back from a shard, a piece that still jolted me in every reflective surface. A face that jolted me in every reflective surface. My almond-shaped eyes, an unnatural blue, were hollow, while blue veins shifted on my caramel skin that only grew darker, with a mixture of anxiety and anger coursing through me. My naturally contoured cheekbones, delicate nose, and bow-shaped lips held their beauty amid my ire. With a cry from shooting pain, I managed to take a step. My hands curled into tight balls at my sides, fingers digging into soft skin. Sweat beaded on my forehead and pooled the nape of my neck, while the struggle to keep going. Dark flooring in the hallway split and groaned as Evita's magic forced it to bend and break. She was trying to keep me away, but nothing could stop me from protecting my family. My other leg wouldn't move and knocked me off balance. My hand shot out and clutched the old counter to right me. I knocked over the delicate porcelain teacup that held steaming chamomile tea. Tinted liquid sloshed onto the floor and ran inside the cracks. Ceramic chips with hand-painted sunflowers splayed at my feet. I screamed in frustration, "You won't get him!" Though I knew she would get through the magical wardings and take my son. Chrysanthea's visions always came true. Evita's voice flooded my ears, canceling out the surrounding din. Don't you remember the day that Chrysanthea came to the shack you call home? She had valuable information about your dear son. Evita's words sent a chill of anger down my spine. Evita's warm breath at my ear drew out a startled jolt. Oh, poor Chrysanthea. A gift of seeing the future, but she couldn't see me tapping into her visions. A shadowed mass, bathed in wisps of of grays and blacks, materialized in front of me. Growls rumbled in my chest as Evita appeared within those wisps. Evita's beady black eyes stared holes into mine. I studied her with a sneer on my lips, noting that our similarities only went as deep as our brown skin. She had black, tightly curled hair, pinned in a top knot, with curly tendrils surrounding an oblong-shaped face. She lifted her hand and cupped my cheek. Her skin was too smooth for such a tarnished person. My teeth snapped, trying to tear into her skin, but couldn't get a good grip. Evita smirked at my wasted effort before brushing her lips lightly against my earlobe. I want you to relive the feeling of anguish and sorrow deep inside your gut when Chrysanthea told you I was coming for your son. Her voice held amusement and so much joy that bile rose up my throat. I want you to remember this in vivid detail. The moment when you realized you weren't going to win. She positioned herself in front of me with her hand now on my chin, fingers digging into my skin. How do you live with so much hatred in your heart? I tried and failed to wrench away from her touch. My heart is as black as coal and doesn't feel a damn thing. Magic curled around and rooted me to the spot as the torn pieces of my kitchen mended back together. Quickly, cracks were filled, frames were repaired, and floors were polished back to their original state. Frightened by the reach of her magic and still in her grasp, I growled, "What is this?" My eyes frantically trailed over to the window where Dorian and Liam played in reverse until everything rewound. Seasons changed, and so did the position of the sun. I felt every emotion bounce through me at the sight of so many days and nights spent with Dorian in laughter and an insurmountable love that was cosmically ours. Finally, the spell slowed down to a normal pace. Chrysanthea stepped inside the foyer of my home. Evita hummed in excitement as she watched with me. Chrysanthea's sad blue eyes held the weight of a million stories of the past, present, and future. Nerves radiated from her that caused her hands to shake, a side effect from seeing multiple paths to the future while time-splitting. Right before my eyes was our past selves. Chrysanthea, paying any of us a visit, usually meant something dreadful could happen. I was terrified that she was going to tell us that something was wrong with my pregnancy. I swallowed hard as I watched, already aware of what Chrysanthea was going to tell us. Suddenly, I stood in the middle of my sunroom with Evita. UV protection tinted the windows so Dorian could enjoy the sunlight spilling from the floor-to-ceiling windows without feeling like his blood was boiling. He would have normally made tea, but even he was just as anxious for this conversation. He kissed my cheek in reassurance. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and just say hi to everybody who came in. Oh, thank you. Thank you for liking the live. It's so nice. I hope I'm entertaining you. I'm going to take a quick drink of some water. Where did I put my water bottle? Oh, okay. Take a quick drink. I hope you like my decor that I'm showing. For anybody who is new to the live, just wanted to reiterate that this is a fireside reading of Youngblood, the Hybrid series, written by Medallio Green. Right here. This is the paperback that I'm reading from. It's a short read. It's about 230 pages. You can actually find it on Amazon and anywhere where books are sold paperback. And you can find it on Amazon for ebook as well, and multiple places for ebooks. And if you're a Kindle Unlimited member, it is free for Kindle Unlimited readers. So, I'm going to say hi to you. Hello. If you'd like to buy it directly from the author, which is moi, you can buy it, the digital copy, on my website, medalliogreen.com. All right, let's get back into it. Such a good story. Okay. The weight of these memories laid heavily on my chest. Or was it the spell blanketing me with its powder? Trying to wrench my face back only brought Evita closer and her grip tightened. Watch, my darling daughter. You don't want to miss this. She kept my face turned awkwardly, giving me no choice but to watch. Chrysanthia looked ragged as her golden curls hung limply to her shoulders in slight knots. Her face held a tinge of gray. Her expression was borderline agony, like she didn't want to tell me just as much as I didn't want to know. I held up my hands after sitting down on the love seat. She did the same, and our hands shook in each other's grasp in equal measure. Quicker than taking my next breath, Dorian plucked me up and sat me back. And sat me down on his lap, wrapping his arms around me as I rested my back against his hard chest. Chrysanthia let out a shaky breath. I have had a bad amount of visions as of late about your son. They were just bits and pieces until they finally became cohesive. Dorian kissed my cheek again and rested his chin on my shoulder as his hand absently rubbed circles on my very pregnant stomach. Nausea sent a splattering of cramps to my abdomen. Evita, let me go. I licked my lips, trying to stave off the acrid taste in my mouth. I don't need to watch this to remember. Evita didn't let up. Her grip tightened, enough to crack my jaw. Watery gasps breathed out while pain rushed in, overtaking my desperation to look away. Chrysanthia continued. In the vision, Evita finds you and kidnaps your son. Evita turned her gaze onto me as if amused by the fear her name alone evoked. She was the Order's weapon on the battlefield, using impus magic. The smell of burning flesh still stained my nose. Dorian shook his head while replying. How? We have the wardings. We were told that she couldn't get past the wardings. Chrysanthia nodded as if expecting us not to believe her. May I show you? I blinked at her while tension rolled through the room like a harsh wind on the heels of a hurricane. Chrysanthea's abilities to see the future were never in question. She could see and walk through multiple paths in time. I trusted her with my mind. Will you show us both? My voice sounded small, unsure if that was what I wanted. At her nod, Chrysanthia touched her fingertips to me and Dorian's foreheads. Evita chuckled while we watched. What did it look like, Anna? I croaked out a response against her grip, like something you'll never accomplish. My face pounded against the strain. I hoped she would never siphon a spell that could capture the high-definition picture of Chrysanthia's visions. But Evita's words had a double meaning because Chrysanthia showed me and Dorian that we weren't going to win in Technicolor. Rage bubbled to the surface and came out with a roar. Evita shushed me and then grinned. This is my favorite part. Chrysanthia's voice stole my attention. I witnessed your mom destroy this home with her magic. Evita will use the altar and the resources only to benefit herself. Evita tisped with a cluck of her tongue, but her eyes still shined with delight. Those resources will only go so far. She will take your son to one day absorb his magic. Dorian placed me on the seat before jumping to his feet. Outrage tinged his alabaster skin with beads of red. He closed in on Chrysanthia. If he took another step, then the toe of his shoe would bump into hers. No! Tell us how to change it. Tell us how to change his fate. Thick wisps of Ireland weaved through his words. Chrysanthia pushed on. There isn't any way. She knows he's the key to destroying her, but her death by his hand will be his downfall. Evita practically shrieked with glee in my ear at the sound of my son's fate. It was painful to watch Dorian's body brace as if he was about to lunge at Chrysanthia, but he backed up and paced a few feet away from us. I watched my past self rub her belly as hot, angry tears cascaded down her cheeks. No, I won't accept that this is the world that we live in, where my unborn child is already damned. I won't accept this, Chris. And that is it for the 5-page reading of Youngblood, the Hybrid series. If you would like to read on, please get a copy. You can get a copy KU. If you're a Kindle Unlimited member, you can get it for free. You can get it on Amazon and anywhere where books are sold, paperback or digital. I also have a giveaway going on, so if you win this giveaway, you'll get a free copy, a free digital copy. But thank you so much for being in this live and listening to me read. I hope you were entertained. If you were in the Instagram live, thank you too for coming into this one. Appreciate it. Let me say hi to some people that I missed. But it's the same thing, so I'll be doing these every week, once a week. So every Thursday night, it's looking like Thursday is the best night, where I will be doing a reading of 5 pages from where I left off in Youngblood, the hybrid series. So if you want to know what happens next, tune in on Thursday or get yourself a copy. If you have a copy, please follow along. That'd be hilarious. But my name is Medallio Green, and thank you so much for entering this live. Be sure to subscribe also to my newsletter. You can find the newsletter subscription on my website, medalliogreen.com. You can also go on my link tree and my profile to get to that subscription. You can subscribe and you'll receive just a plethora of goodies. Right now, the newsletter for November is looking really awesome. So I'm excited for my subscribers to get the things that I have. There's some freebies that I give out in my newsletter. And this month, you'll be getting a cover reveal of the second book in the hybrid series, which is called Shadow Creatures. And it's in a completely different point of view. If you have read Youngblood, then you'll know what I mean when I say that the book is going to be in Malia's point of view. So I'm really excited about it. It'll also be on pre-order by the end of this month. It's with the editor, so I'm thinking in the next 3 months it'll be out. It'll be ready, set, go for ARC readers. So if you're interested to be an ARC reader, actually reach out to me directly, DM me. Or you can go through my chat on my website if you want to get a hold of me. But thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to read another five pages to you next week. So next Thursday night, tune in around the same time, and have a good night. Thank you.